Good for you.
I hate the fucking Eagles, man. Woo!
Welcome back to another edition of Talking Busch podcast. I am your interim host, John Thompson, joined by the man, the myth, the legend, Derek Hartman.
Hey,
what's going on, Derek?
Not too much. Another week. I saw like that on the podcast preview. Dave makes his triumphant return. What happened?
Well, we were supposed to have the triumphant return of David Pikus, and I think you could agree with me. I was pretty jacked up about it. We haven't had Dave on here in like a month and a half. He got held up today. Apparently, his job was being a little more picky. Picky's a good word. They're just nitpicking him on certain things, and he was running behind today. So we're gonna have to push that back until probably next week.
So spit instead of swallow, you're saying?
Yeah, something of that nature. It's good to have you back though too, because you had a 1-week hiatus.
It's been a busy time.
Yeah. So how? I think the last time we talked, you were in the process of hiring your new front desk lady. I think her name was
DD Mega Doo
or something like that. No, yes, no.
Yeah, I do have somebody lined up for the position that is currently still filled.
Okay. So, can I ask your professional opinion? I was wondering this. Okay. So, when it comes to hiring, obviously this is like your first time doing this. Like, do you go, is there a unicorn out there? Is there a gal or a guy, doesn't matter, whose resume is flawless plus is a handsome looking fella / good looking lady? I mean, are they out there, or is it like you got to go off the resume or / I don't want to say you go off looks, but because that'd be horrible. I mean,
well, if there's one position that you might do that, it would be the front desk.
Right.
No.
I'm not gonna lie. I would come back more often if the front desk gal was a tan, a freaking tan.
No, those unicorns don't seem to be out there. I mean, maybe they are.
Yeah.
But I feel like, at least in this particular case, I'm looking for somebody that can actually do work.
So you're saying the Minneapolis-St. Paul area, we are unicorn-less, right?
Yeah.
That you've seen.
I mean, there are plenty of good-looking, attractive young ladies out there.
Of course there are.
And then there are some good workers.
Right.
Probably less good workers than there are attractive ladies.
Right. And it's like seeing a dragon fly by.
Doesn't seem to be the total package.
I understand. I was just wondering because I've never had to do anything like that. Obviously, all I do is, honestly, all I make is the nectar of the gods.
Honestly, friendliness and that stuff does matter at the front desk, and that's part of the issue with
right.
the
Oh, yeah. Just be nice, people.
Just be nice. It's not that hard.
No, it's not. Where was I going to go with that? Oh, random thought of the day. Note to self and anybody out there. So I was doing a little show prep today. Not much, just a little bit. I was just trying to make sure we had some buttons and, was looking up some stuff. And I accidentally put the movie Ghost on. Are you familiar? Patrick Swayze, Demi Moore.
I know what it is. I couldn't even tell you what it's about. This is from early 90s.
Yeah, I think like AMC is doing like an Oscar / like early 80s or 80s and 90s movie marathon. So I just put it on that, and that was a mistake. I probably cried or almost cried 5 times. I'm not even kidding. It was just it was like watching Rudy for me. It was just an emotional wreck. Kudos to Demi.
tractor beam and sucked you right in.
Oh my God. It is a good movie, but there's just so many levels of emotions that you go through. Anger, sadness, happy, sadness. Kudos to Demi Moore because I'm sure she was just on an emotional roller coaster for all the time she had to like force or get herself to cry, because she cries a lot for obvious reasons. I was crying. It was dusty. There was something in my eye multiple times. I'm not afraid to say it. But yeah, if you don't want to go through an emotional roller coaster like that, if you see that movie, just pass. Just go by it. Unless,
Demi Moore, 2019, would you?
out of respect, of course. Yes, she's still good looking.
Actually,
I don't know if she's been in any recent movies, but from the last time I saw her, I think she was on like the roast of Bruce Willis on Comedy Central last year. Still a smoke show. Striptease. Oh, another another movie you could have slapped the ham to easily. Striptease. Totally forgot about that one.
Yep. Yeah, that was. I can't. Did she show boobs in that one?
I think so. I'm pretty sure she did.
Because that would be another, of the top 5 boobs. That would. The fact that I can't remember maybe is not a good sign. But
No.
I do remember a lot of ass.
Yes, and the plot of the movie is horrible, but that's not why you were watching it. You were watching it because we need to see those hoots, and we need to see them now.
Yep.
And it was glorious. Yeah. Did you listen 2 weeks ago when it was Train and I?
No.
Okay. Well, thanks, guy. Thank you.
In my opinion, that sucked.
I joined halfway through.
Well, that's true. We were talking about one that I forgot was when because correct me if I'm wrong, you were a big kind of WWE guy when you were younger, right? Yes. Yeah. Do you remember when the Sable Playboy edition came out?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, of course you do. Matt Train couldn't, and I was like, how could you not? That was like the hottest thing to get for an adolescent boy. It's like,
specifically, of course, one of my buddies' dads got all the Playboys.
Oh, of course.
So,
yeah.
You'd go over and you'd see what was the new flavor of the.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, I totally forgot that probably would have been number one because I remember like everybody whose dad or whose older brother could get their hands on it, they were trying their hardest to try to get that. I did have the pleasure of seeing them, and they were as advertised.
Yeah.
The old tallywhacker went north and south. Just saying. Oh, well, what do you think? Should we talk a little sports since that's kind of what we do on this thing?
Yeah, there's some sports going on.
So
Yes. We
haven't talked in 2 weeks now.
Yep.
Some things have happened in the NFL playoff race. One, your Kansas City Chiefs defeated the Indianapolis Colts pretty handily. I
mean, they took it to them, really.
I think a lot of people, just given Andy Reid's playoff record, was we're just kind of figuring that they were going to choke, and Andrew Luck was playing pretty good, but that was not the case. Patrick Mahomes looked really, really good. The Chiefs' defense looked really, really good.
They did. Yeah, if the Chiefs' defense plays that good, they're not going to lose.
Yeah, and did you see what the forecast is supposed to be on Sunday?
I did. Did you see Bill Belichick's response when asked how he feels about cold weather?
No, what did he say?
Brilliant. He goes, I don't really care about anything but being in the AFC Championship game. You can put it anywhere, anytime, and we'll be there.
Oh, nice. Woo! I don't care what anybody says. I love the Evil Empire. I think they're great, and I love the Chiefs. The Chiefs are the new Ferrari out on the street, but man, the Patriots are just so good, and I don't know why people hate them so much. Maybe it's just because they win too much.
Well, they win, and people hate winners.
Yeah.
No, the other thing is they have a lot of pushing the limits. Uh, did they
Yeah.
cheat? Maybe.
True.
Who knows? And people don't like that, even though that's what real winners do.
Right. No, they're fun to watch. Brady's awesome. Bill, probably the greatest duo in NFL history as far as quarterback coach. I love what they're doing. It's going to be a good game on Sunday, no matter what. I think I'll be pretty happy with the outcome, whether it's the Patriots. I'll be even more thrilled if it's the Chiefs, but that should be a good game. The NFC, there's a couple things that happened. The is it the Los Angeles Rams?
It is.
They looked really good. Their defense showed up for once, and they downed the Dallas Cowboys. I don't remember what the score was, but I again was pretty happy. Heard that there was maybe a chance to be more Cowboys fans than Rams fans. Heard that was the opposite. There's actually plenty of Rams fans in the stadium, and also heard that. Did you hear the latest from Jerry Jones about why the Cowboys lost?
Something about footwear. Is that what
Yeah, didn't have long enough cleats, and they were slipping and sliding all over the place.
Cool story, Hansel.
Yeah, no kidding. Jerry, you can.
So I guess you can dare a lick my balls, Capitan.
Because I'm pretty sure that the Rams just outplayed them. I mean, they only had like 41 yards of rushing the whole game.
Yeah. The Rams are a better team.
Yeah,
but they got a better coach.
Yeah, I would agree.
I mean, if you watch the Cowboys play offense, it's like taking you back to the 90s.
Right.
Did you hear the Dak Prescott and Amari Cooper bit?
No, what was that?
In the game against the Eagles where Amari went nuts, Scott Linehan kept calling the same route for Cooper. And in the huddle, they decided to change the route, and it went for a touchdown.
Oh,
yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
So they did playground football and it worked.
They did. Yep.
That's not good.
Yeah, exactly. Really in with their coach and.
Yeah, no kidding. They called the huddle. They're just like, okay, this is where we're gonna run. Coop, run a deep crossing route. I think that's what it was.
I think it was.
And it worked.
Yep.
That's amazing. Well, the good news is that the Rams won, and the even better news is that even though two teams that we don't like, one probably more than the other right now.
Recent bias.
Yeah, it's the other one still hurts, but it's 10 years ago. But the Saints came back and they defeated the hated Eagles.
I hate the fucking Eagles, man.
Which was very delicious.
It hurt cheering for the Saints. It felt weird.
It did.
Just like cheering for the Bears the previous week did.
Yeah.
But I'm very thankful that the fucking Eagles lost.
Yeah, that is
I hate the fucking Eagles,
so good.
Man.
And do you subscribe to we're gonna do a little plug here. Do you subscribe to Bleacher Report's Gridiron Heights?
I don't.
Oh, anybody listening, and I know there's a few listeners out there that already watch it, subscribe to that. It's like a cartoon. It's like a 2-minute cartoon about the NFL every week. And they dress Nick Foles up like the Overlord in Mad Max, and they call him Big Dick Nick. And there's a scene where I think it was Deshaun Watson, like they're playing tennis at the out of the playoffs country club, and he hits Big Dick Nick right in his superpowers, and he goes, "Oh, I got hit in my superpowers. I'm turning back into regular season Nick." It is genius. So if you haven't seen it, subscribe to it. It comes out every week after the NFL games are done. Hilarious.
All right.
Yeah. So this week, Saints. Was it Saints, Rams, Chiefs, Patriots? Who you got?
Two awesome games. I think you had the best 4 teams in the NFL, which doesn't always happen. I'm excited. They're not one of the best four. Definitely not.
It's more of a salute to four really good teams that, I was watching the Saints game with a few fellas from another fantasy league. I know, another fantasy league. How dare I? They were like, what did they say? I think it was the Vikings. If the Vikings were the Saints, there is no way that when the Vikings would be down 14-0, and there was all those penalties when New Orleans was trying to make their way back, we would have punted like probably after the first penalty.
They drove 130 yards.
Yeah, how many plays was that one again? Was it 18?
Yeah, 17.
It was ridiculous. But that's what Super Bowl teams do.
Yep, you make up for your mistakes. And the Vikings get down 14-0. That game was over. The crowd would have been silent, and the pass rush would have been just destroying us as Kirk just sat in the pocket and cowered.
Woo!
Hot take.
Truth.
It's not wrong though. So yeah, I'm honestly, I don't usually, because with like NCAAs, with all that jazz, there's usually an upset, but I don't know how you can't pick the two home squads, because Arrowhead and Mercedes-Benz Superdome are two of the hardest places to play. The Chiefs are 0-5, I think, right now. The last 5 road AFC championship games. And this is the first time Sean McVay and Jared Goff have been in an NFC championship game. Plus, they didn't do too well against the Saints during the regular season when they played at the Superdome. So I'm going to go with the home squads. I'm going to say Saints, Chiefs, Super Bowl. You can figure it out from there.
Yeah, I don't.
Let's dance, dickweed.
I have the Chiefs, obviously, because I'm ride or die with my boy.
Right on.
All right.
As far as the other game goes, I want the Rams really badly. I think the Saints are going to win. I think the only way
good for you.
I think the only way the Rams can hang in there is if they put up a ton of points. They're going to have to win 52-49, or something outrageous. And it's entirely possible that offense has done it. It's just they haven't been the same since Cooper Kupp got hurt and Gurley, missed some time, even though C.J. Anderson looked like it was 10 years ago.
Yeah, I play a little bit.
Resurgence of C.J. Anderson.
No doubt. But I still I have the Saints Chiefs, even though I would like to see the rematch of the greatest game of the regular season. That Rams Chiefs game was incredible.
Yes.
That would be an awesome Super Bowl for me to enjoy while I'm beachside in Miami.
Shut up.
Good for you.
But
Cool story, Hazel.
Thanks, Olaf.
Dick.
You're welcome. So I hear the Packers hired a new coach. How do you feel about that?
I wish I could appease you with a cram up your cram hole the floor, but I didn't get that far. So epic failure on my point. I don't know how to feel about it. I mean, the guy coached the Tennessee Titans, whose offense was so up and down, and I don't know if that's because Marcus Mariota can't make up his mind if he's going to be a good quarterback or a horrible quarterback.
Right.
So I'm kind of like on the fence. I think everybody is so trying to find the next Sean McVay that it maybe has got blinders on.
The Arizona Cardinals, when announcing Cliff Kingsbury as head coach, put in his bio that he was friends with Sean McVay.
Woo!
You got to do whatever you got to do to get that job, man.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess that's what you got to do. That's what you got to do. But for those listeners, I will have it for sure, hopefully next week, if not latest by the time training camp starts, cram it up your cram hole. The floor will be on the button bar. No ifs, ands, or buts about it.
Yep.
Because that is such a beautiful combination of a team we hate and that soundbite. It's so beautiful. I'm kind of excited for it.
Cool story, Hansel.
Thanks, Olaf.
I wanted to ask you, I was regarding the Vikings. Gary Kubiak, your thoughts?
Yeah, I'm not super jacked about it, but as far as kind of the mold that Zimmer goes for, kind of the head coach that's no longer and kind of offensive mind, I don't mind it.
Right.
I hope that he's able to implement the zone blocking scheme that he's had in most of his stops, because we're not a power run team.
Right.
Our line is not built for power running.
I think, and that's what I thought too. I'm glad you and I are on the same wavelength on that. I think because when you look at Brian, the size of like Pat Elflein and Brian O'Neill, and I'm pretty sure that Riley Reef, I'm pretty sure that when he was at Iowa, they were in zone blocking too, a little bit. So like those three guys, that's what they do. Like that's what they're trained for.
Yeah.
And that's why you sign them. And so then, yeah, to go into just like a power running game, yeah, it's just not working. So I agree with you. I think that's going to be the benefit of having him. I thought it was kind of funny that he was a package deal. Like, I'll sign, but you got to bring over my son and my tight ends coach, and then we'll make it a deal.
I mean, I don't entirely blame him.
Right.
That being said, like, you gotta decide, is it worth it? When Flip was looking at coaching the Gophers men's basketball team,
yep.
His deal was Ryan Saunders comes with, and the Gophers said no.
And
you just have to decide how much nepotism can you put up with.
Right.
Why the University of Minnesota? Why not?
That one's kind of worked out a little bit, but yeah, that who knows? Because with Richard Pitino, the Gophers are doing really well right now, which
really the stretch, they're doing okay.
Yeah, they looked like they're on the right path when they beat Wisconsin at home, which was awesome. But it seems that it's kind of slowing down a little bit.
They bent over and took it up the ass against Maryland in the second half.
Yeah.
We'll see. They need to close the deal tonight, and then and then they got one more cupcake coming, and then we'll see where we're at.
Right. I was gonna ask you something else about the Vikings, and I can't remember for the life of me what it was, and it's gonna drive me into madness because I had it on the tip of my tongue when we were talking about the playoffs, and now I can't remember it, and it's pissing me off.
Playoffs?
Playoffs? Don't talk about playoffs. You kidding me? Playoffs? I just hope we can win a game.
Yeah, I can't remember. I'm probably gonna remember like tonight at like 11:30. I'm just gonna sit straight up. It was a good take too, and that's what really pissed.
Hot take?
What's that?
Yeah.
I did have a hot topic. I did, and now I can't remember it. Maybe to kind of jar my memory, I got to ask you a question.
Okay.
I don't know if you know this, but we have some loyal listeners in a league that I'm in up here in good old Stearns County. They give me some insight. I'm not gonna lie. I like to steal their takes and not give them any credit.
Sure.
So yeah, screw you guys, especially you, Travis. Haha. But we had a little party this last weekend, a little end of year party, which Busch League. You should take some notes that yes, 12 gentlemen were able to get into a garage and pay league fees and do all this and that one Saturday out of the year. Just FYI to everybody.
You mean it's not illegal to get together?
Yeah, it's amazing. Like, and even some of the spouses came with. So we can do that. And yours truly. Yeah.
We're gonna discuss real shortly here. Spring meetings, they're coming.
Yeah. So
March is right around the corner.
Yes. So yours truly will for sure be there this year. I should just make that apparent. I'm not going to say I'll be there and then not show. I will be there this year because we're going to shake some things up, Lord Commish. But anyway, so this is an Empire League. So we were able to do some trading. And there's two trades that happened, and I want to run them by you. There was a few people, shitbag, that were a little upset with the trades, and I'm not really sure that they were unfair. I don't think they were, in my opinion. So
as reigning league champion,
yeah,
I feel like my opinion matters.
Oh, good for you.
Eat shit. Anyway, so the first trade was a gentleman traded Cooper Kupp in his first round pick for the rookie draft, which is I think 3rd overall. Not a very good draft, I think, this year for position players.
Yep.
Yeah. He traded that Cooper Kupp in his first round pick for Kerryon Johnson. Your thoughts?
I think it's totally fair, actually, on both sides. I like Kerryon Johnson for next year. I think he's going to be a good player.
Right.
Cooper Kupp, it depends how he comes back from injury.
Mm-hmm.
But he was putting up pretty good numbers.
Sure.
So that one's the wild card. The 3rd pick in the draft, to be honest, I don't even know who that would be. Last year was simple. You knew Saquon was going to be the number 1 pick.
Right, exactly.
I couldn't tell you who would be now. That Alabama running back looks pretty good.
Yeah, I would have said probably Bryce Love, but he just revealed 2 weeks ago that he tore his ACL in December. So
he's going to get drafted.
Yeah, he's going to be an undrafted free agent, I would say, or super late round.
How high are you going to take Fant or the other tight end from Iowa?
Oh, Hawkinson? See, yeah, I don't. Depends where they go. And my hope is that one of them lands here, if you know what I mean. I'm hoping Hawkinson. I'm hoping after we draft 2 linemen, we get Hawkinson in the 3rd round.
Yeah, I was gonna say if you can get him in the 3rd, great.
Because
you need to spend draft capital on the line.
Oh, absolutely. So Fant is out of the question for the Vikings, but Hawkinson is definitely in play. And you saw firsthand, you'd almost have to argue on that day at TCF Bank, he might have been the best tight end on the field that day.
Oh, I don't think there was no doubt in my mind he was.
Yeah.
And maybe that's because we schemed to take away Fant and we couldn't both of them. I don't know.
Sure.
But I mean he destroyed the Gophers. He actually reminded me a little bit of Max Williams the year.
Right. Yeah. That's a good comparison. So yeah, we'll get into the Vikings draft talk. I think that was kind of what I was leaning towards a little bit in my trying to stir stuff up. So yeah, I agree with you. Kerryon Johnson, he got some stats from the league commissioner of the Stearns County League, and I'm not going to say his name on the air because that's too gratifying for him. I'm just going to piss him off and not do that. He said that I'm pretty sure he's right. When Kerryon Johnson was healthy, he was a top 10 fantasy player. Does that sound right?
Yeah.
Top 10 fantasy running back. I'm sorry, not player.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know he was good because I was upset when Max made the trade with Adam and gave Adam Kerryon Johnson.
Yeah.
And I was like, God damn it. Now he gets another good player.
Right.
Didn't work out, obviously, because Kerryon got hurt. And Tyler Lockett continued his good season. But, to me, that trade is fair. I also like trading draft picks.
Yeah.
In an Empire League, unless you suck terribly.
Right.
Let's play to win now.
Right.
See what happens later.
I would agree. Second draft or second trade was between a new listener. He added us this week, so thank you. second trade, which I thought was still pretty fair. One gentleman traded James Conner and George Kittle
Okay.
for Patrick Mahomes and Evan Ingram.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Quarterback scoring in your league is just standard.
Standard, just like ours. Yep.
Okay. Mahomes was 6 points better than any other quarterback over the course of the year.
Sure.
That's pretty good.
That's pretty good.
In a league where tight ends are impossible to find, it seems like Kittle is a very valuable commodity, and I would argue more valuable than James Conner.
Yes.
Even though Conner probably will carry the load for the Steelers next year. I in terms of trade value, to me, Kittle has more. It all depends in that trade. It all depends on how you value Mahomes. If you think he's going to be the superstar for the next 10 years, then you win that trade.
I think that would, yeah.
If he's not,
Woo!
I think Kittle will be great with Kyle Shanahan. There, I think he'll be a top 3 or 4 tight end for the next 5-6 years. And with running backs, it's so hard.
All right.
It's so hard in Empire leagues to really know running backs.
Right. And
one, they get hurt easily. 2, they're easily replaceable. You just don't know.
And especially with the drama that's happening in Pittsburgh, there's just, who knows? Big Ben could retire. I mean,
and that offense goes to shit.
Yeah. So it's a gamble on both because, I don't think Patrick Mahomes will have a sophomore slump. I think he's too talented for that. But it's very possible. People could have all offseason to figure out what they're doing and put an emphasis on stopping it. And then, James Conner, Roethlisberger could retire. People double Schuster now because he's their best receiver because Antonio Brown's gone. I mean, there's a lot of factors. I agree with George Kittle, and I think the thought process on it was if somehow the Giants get rid of Eli or he is the backup or whatever happens, and either Dwayne Haskins or Kyler Murray or whoever the hell it is, I think the hope is that the quarterback coming in is going to be able to make Ingram relevant again, like he should be.
Yeah, maybe. I don't trust Evan Ingram. That's not to say he couldn't be a top 5 tight end.
Sure.
But I don't know. I guess we'll see. If I'm making the trade in an Empire League, I'm probably on the Mahomes side with the trade.
Yeah.
So even though I think Kittle is a really valuable commodity.
I'd agree. I think it was even. The only time I don't think something is even is when someone feels they got duped. And I don't think anybody got duped, but some.
The only time it's like if they're set to retire and then that's douchey.
Yeah.
But otherwise, to me, basically any trade's a go.
Right.
And our league has upheld that policy, which I appreciate.
Yeah.
There's been I've had trades vetoed in the past that, people thought I was on the shitty end of it or thought I was on the end ripping people off.
Right.
And I said about them. You don't make the trades if you don't.
Mm-hmm. So, well, yeah. Well, I hope that helps these boys feel a little bit better. I think they did feel good to begin with, but it's good just to get an outsider's perspective because a lot of them thought it was fair. Just a few of them didn't. So I think that's pretty good analysis. And if they don't like your analysis, they can.
So I guess you can dare lick my balls, Capitan.
Let's move into
Busch Light.
Or
Busch League.
there's a few interesting topics I want to run by you.
Let's do it.
So the first one is Kyler Murray, Heisman Trophy winner, drafted by the Oakland A's to play shortstop or second, something like that. $4 million guaranteed. He's probably going to ride the bus in the minors for a while.
Yep.
And then he's going to come up to the big leagues and play, be their all-star, whatever, in their eyes. Maybe he will be, maybe he won't. Who knows? He recently decided to declare for the NFL draft, but prior to doing that, he was demanding more money from the A's, and because Major League Baseball probably needs more superstar names, we're going to basically bend the rules for the A's to sign him for $15 million. Derek, is that
Busch Light.
or
Bush League.
Busch League?
I think it was smart on baseball's terms to try to get him there. Nobody is watching baseball anymore.
True.
And I think it's totally fair for Kyler Murray to say, I can get $15 million guaranteed in the NFL. Like, I'll be a mid-round first-round draft pick or mid-first round draft pick, get $15 million, and if I flame out in the NFL, guess what I can do? I can go join whoever and work my way up through baseball.
All right.
Tim Tebow's in damn AAA.
Yeah.
He's
Drew Henson. Remember that name?
Away from playing professional baseball, like,
right?
You know, so in Kyler Murray's, I think it's Busch Light on both sides. I think baseball's smart to try to get higher profile athletes to join their game, and I think Kyler Murray is absolutely fine demanding more money.
Yep.
Burning them when he decides that he likes football better.
I think that's a great assessment. I would agree. I think, try to get the most out of your talents, and if one doesn't work out, go to the other one. Like you said, who did you reference? I can't remember.
Tim
Tebow. But and I kind of go further back. I was referencing Drew Henson when baseball didn't work out for him, and then he came to the NFL. Russell Wilson, I mean, he just goes and screws around at spring training with the Yankees. Yeah. So, but you can do both. I think for quarterbacks, it's way too hard to do both. But if football, like you said, he's going to get more money. He's going to get money regardless. I've heard the analysis that Bryce Harper's getting $300 million. It's like Kyler Murray is not guaranteed $300 million. Like, nobody is right off the bat. So you can't even say, well, he'll make that's not an accurate analysis. Like, because
do primetime Major League Baseball players make more than primetime football players? Yes. Joe Mauer's contract for $120 million was more than for $120 million guaranteed was more than any NFL player's ever made guaranteed.
Right.
Like, I get that. I get that argument. But also won an MVP, 3 batting titles. Like,
right.
It's you got to get there.
Yeah.
And so in any person's eyes, yes, you have to look at the long term. But I'm sorry, $15 million is more than $4 million.
Yeah, I agree. Well, we'll see what happens. I'm interested to see where he goes in the draft. If someone is going to do like a Denver Broncos and Tim Tebow and draft him randomly in the first round, or if he's going to wait a little bit due to his size.
He's a first rounder. There's no quarterback in this draft.
And he's electric. He's proven it on the field. He threw for 50-some touchdowns. Him and Tua, I think, threw for 50. Or Haskins, too. I think they all threw for over 50 touchdowns.
If Lamar Jackson is a first-round pick.
Yes.
And leads a team to the playoffs.
Yes.
Kyler Murray is definitely a first-rounder.
Woo! I agree. Let's move on to our hated, not even rival, just hated NFL team.
I hate the fucking Eagles, man.
As you may recall, they lost to the Saints over the weekend. And apparently, even though they have a Super Bowl, that just isn't good enough anymore. They want multiple Super Bowls, which, you ask me, one would be plenty right now. I wouldn't get greedy. I'd be happy with if they would have won last year.
I'll do one.
Yeah, I would love one. And I would be more than happy with one until like maybe 20 years later. Then, just like with the Twins, like we have to. We need to start trying to get another one now. But anyway, so there was a headline on my news feed. I think it was from, I don't remember what media source, but apparently a Philadelphia Eagles fan got so upset by their loss that she assaulted her girlfriend. And when her girlfriend decided to call the police and possibly leave their hotel room, she threatened to kill their dog. And the way she was going to kill the dog was microwave it. So she slammed the dog into the microwave, did not hit start, thank God, but she had the dog in the microwave, and luckily her girlfriend had the sense to just stay in the room until the police showed up. And the other girlfriend ended up being arrested for assault and animal cruelty, all because the Eagles lost to the Saints
I
on
hate
Sunday.
the fucking Eagles, man.
Derek, is that
Busch Light.
or
Bush League.
I feel like that one's fairly obvious.
Bush
Eagles
League.
fans
Yeah.
are fucking psycho.
They're the worst fans in the NFL.
I understand being upset at a game. Been there.
Yeah.
I wouldn't assault somebody. And I definitely, even though, dogs might not be my favorite, would not put one in the goddamn microwave.
Right. I mean,
All right.
they are. They're just the worst people, worst fans in the NFL, in the world. Just screw them all. Just if there was a tectonic plate right over or under Philadelphia, I would hope it would just break and just that place just sank, because they are awful.
If Japan ever decides to take revenge on us, go.
Right? Yeah, that was a little like I understand. Even throwing your remote control through the TV,
Well, that's
right?
fine. No big
Yeah, jumping through your TV, whatever it is you got to do to get your release, slamming your fist on the coffee table.
deal.
That
Punching a door. Or a
Yeah.
wall, yeah.
like the kid that busted through the closet door when the Bears lost. Okay, that's fine. You're not hurting anybody. You're hurting yourself.
Yeah.
Don't take it to the point where you're actually hurting animals or people. That is just stupid, and it's just another example of how stupid Philadelphia fans are. Just like when they won the Super Bowl and they were tearing down street lamps and crapping on just
Destroying the city.
just stupid. So, you know what, Philadelphia?
So I guess you can dare lick my balls, Capitan.
Let's not waste any more breath on them. Derek, there was a basketball game last night.
I guess we will waste some breath on Philly.
Nah, I forgot that's who they played. Son of a bitch. That's stupid.
Yeah, I play a little bit.
So your Minnesota Timberwolves took on the Jimmy Butler Philadelphia 76ers.
Yes.
A revenge game. And your Minnesota Timberwolves apparently have PTSD because they curled up in the fetal position and just let the Sixers trounce them for a 42 point. Was it 42 or 49? 42.
At that point, doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. 42-point loss. It was like 149 to 107 or something like that.
Put it this way. At the end of the first half, I flipped it on, and the Sixers had over 80 points. And I immediately changed the team.
I'm wondering if Cat and Wiggins just see Jimmy and they just wet themselves. Like they cannot bring it. They cannot dig deep down and just be dominant or try to be dominant against him. Like they just curl up in the fetal position. I saw a highlight of Butler. Cat had Butler posted up, and guess what happened? Butler poked the ball away, and they scrambled for it, and Philadelphia ended up with the ball in the possession arrow in their favor.
Yeah,
it's like, man, what is happening? Are you guys traumatized that much?
I think Butler.
I hate the fucking Eagles, man.
Is the biggest tool there is, However, I wish that Wiggins, especially Wiggins, but even Towns, had a little bit more fucking willpower. Just say, fuck you. We're going to go do something and win this goddamn game.
Right.
Because they don't. And I don't think they ever will. I think that's something you're born with.
Yeah.
Either have it or you don't. Wiggins clearly doesn't have it.
Yeah. Well, what I was trying to get at is, so they got destroyed, and Joel Embiid, who is a known troll on the Twitter machine, tweeted out shortly after the game, "It was an honor to be a part of the third stringers and get a win against real NBA starters. Hashtag the process." Derek, is Embiid's trolling
Busch Light.
or
Bush League.
Strong Busch Light. He is brilliant.
Woo!
They deserved it. And the fact that Tom Thibodeau let Jimmy Butler come back set this franchise back years. And the whole story behind the tweet, the third stringers and Jimmy Butler beating the starters, is fucking embarrassing. And they should be embarrassed by it. And that if I was on the opposite team, I'd make fun of them too.
right?
Especially after that.
All right.
You just curl up. They deserve every bit of ridicule.
Yep. It was a brilliant tweet, and he's really good at it, and I get a thorough kick out of his tweets when he's trolling. I think he's one of the best at it. So, they totally deserved it. They better figure it out, because I think they're 2 games above 500 right now, and if they even want to have a shot at the 8th seed, they need to figure out what they got to do. Plus, when Philly rolls into town in March, they better not show up with their tail between their legs again. They better man the hell up and play basketball.
Stupid ass comment from Towns and Wiggins. Blah blah blah. We need to be better.
Yeah.
Grow up and actually do something.
Yeah. Be Baker Mayfield.
And when I woke up this morning, I was feeling pretty dangerous.
Do that, and then we'll be impressed. Cat and Wiggins. Back to football. So it's official now, and I wish I had him. Due to copyright infringement, I can't play. I can't play a Maroon 5 song, but I would if I could. So just in your head, sing your favorite Maroon song. Maroon 5 song. But they are officially the halftime act of Super Bowl 53. They will be supported by Travis Scott and Big Boy from Outkast. Derek, are you excited for the halftime performance? And is it
Busch Light
or
Bush League?
I think the whole damn thing is Bush League. I don't hate Adam Levine. I respect the man. He's got a smoking hot wife after he dated about 3 other smoking.
All right.
That being said, his music sucks. It has for years. And tell me this one. Where the hell is the other half of Outkast? Outkast is from Atlanta. So is Ludacris.
Woo!
And it's complete ludicrous that he is not singing.
I play a little bit.
nice reference? Nice Atlanta reference.
If you have Luda as the headliner with Outkast and some other Atlanta musicians, and I get it, they don't have to do it from the city, but that would be way more entertaining.
All right.
Maybe they could see if they can get Jermaine Dupri to show up out of nowhere.
Why not?
Yeah, that'd be hot. Hot Lana would be back. Hot Lana would be back, and maybe trot Nature Boy Ric Flair's carcass out there, because he's still alive, but some days he looks barely alive. That would get that place just rocking.
Yes, it would. And yeah, God, Maroon 5, what a buzzkill.
I know I don't really have an opinion on it. It is what it is. I don't know.
In my opinion, that sucked.
It's Bush League. I don't know. I thought they could maybe. It's weird that they don't try to incorporate more acts from the towns that they're in. And I get some places are more difficult than others, like Miami, some of the other warm places they play. But like when you're in a place like Atlanta, where there's so many hip hop artists that are from there, or even like Houston and Dallas, you could say Arizona. I'm sure that once LA, that's not even going to be fair because there's so many people that live out there once they get that stadium built. But yeah, you want to try to incorporate, and maybe that's just the Minnesotan in us because we like people that are from here. It might be a little bit.
But Big Boy without Andre 3000.
I know, that is just crazy. I will give props if Andre 3000 shows up. Kind of like, what was it? I think it was like 15 years ago when Britney and NSYNC and Aerosmith were all, and like you didn't expect her to be on there or something, something like that.
Sure. If Andre doesn't come back and singing "Sorry, Miss Jackson," halftime show is a bust.
Woo!
Banger. Actually, if they play Roses,
All right.
oh, I'm not gonna lie, the old tallywhacker will be at full salute because I love Roses. Roses is one of their best songs ever, in my opinion.
Sure.
That song wails. Well, we're gonna start wrapping her up here. I'm gonna make a quick announcement. Winter meetings, Lord Commish, you need to start sending out some spreadsheets for people. Anybody that can maybe I've heard through the grapevine that maybe there's a few people in this league that have new houses this year or 2018. Maybe they want to do like a semi housewarming party. Maybe Derek wants to try to cram 12 people into his apartment. I don't know. That's a.
I have a 6th floor.
Oh.
If we want to do it St. Patty's Day weekend,
that would be so fun.
Extend it to a little bit.
Woo!
Why not?
Yeah, well, I know we should do something, and whether we do activities afterwards, whether, I get we're not 21 anymore. We don't have to go to the club. We don't have to bump and grind. We could catch a wild game. We could hang St. Patty's Day weekend. There's lots of stuff we can do. Just hang out, just enjoy each other's company, even though that sounds a little...
All right.
That's the old man in me talking. Or we could enjoy some beverages like the one you're drinking. Do you care to elaborate on that?
I am drinking a belly dance. It is from
Woo!
Where is that from? I'm sorry.
Black Stack Brewing.
And where is that located?
It's a St. Paul brewery. If you haven't been, cool space. A big old building that they filled up, and it's cool space. Lot of room there. They're on the New England IPA train, which everybody should be.
All right.
And, this particular beer is a 10% triple IPA that drinks like it's about 4%.
That's amazing.
And so
Woo!
you drink about 4-pack of these, and you'd be done for the night.
Oh, my button isn't working. Son of a... I had a good button for you, but it wasn't working.
All right.
We'll just go with that. I have been there. Derek introduced me to it.
It's not the first time John couldn't find a button.
That's true.
Woo!
Found that button, dickhead. But you're not wrong. Derek introduced me to Black Stack. It's a really cool location. I believe there's axe throwing right next to it. And if you have a hard time finding it, I'm pretty sure it's off of University going east. And there's a giant frickin' smokestack right attached to the building. So you can't miss it in the daylight.
Yep. It's just north of University.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
For those that are familiar with the Minneapolis-St. Paul area. Well, I believe that's it. My final thoughts, and your final thoughts. I don't think I have anything else to talk about. I'm pretty sure I don't.
Yeah, I'm going to New York City this weekend. I will
Oh, good for you.
What's in
And,
New York again?
I have a buddy that lives out there. Is in residency, so I got a free place to stay and a car to drive me around while I drink and hang out.
Oh, good for you.
Very good for me.
Cool story, Hansel.
Thanks, Olaf.
Well, I hope you have fun out there. I'm sure you're going to try to find as many tap rooms as you can. And I'm sure you'll. And how long are you out there for?
Just till Sunday.
Okay. Are you going to be out?
I'm going to come home and cheer the Chiefs on to victory.
Yeah. I was going to ask you if you were going to stay out there for the playoffs or come home. Yep. So I hope you have fun. I hope you find some tap rooms to enjoy. And I hope everybody else has a good weekend. Enjoy the playoffs. When we come back next week, hopefully one of our co-hosts is back. They're always traveling and busy, so hopefully we can get them on. We really want the return of Dave Pikus to happen because I think he's. What's that?
I need some positive PJ.
I know, which we could talk a lot about next week. They had some transfers come in that are going to help, and and we didn't really touch on college football this week because that's what it was. I remember now. I'm making a note for next week.
Save it.
I am.
I'm long off season ahead of us.
I'm saving it. I thank you. The college football thing reinvigorated my memory. God, I am getting old and terrible. I can't remember my ass from my elbow half the days. Plus, I look like Jabba the Hutt, so that's not helping it. That's not. Everything's just going south now. Thank God I got my hair though. So, Derek, always a pleasure. I have to go brew the nectar of the gods tonight and package it. So I better get my ass going. So have a safe trip, buddy, and we'll see y'all next week. Bye.
Later.
And when I woke up this morning, I was feeling pretty dangerous.
DD Mega Doo-Doo.
Let's dance, dickweed. And what you gonna do, muscle man?
Why the University of Minnesota? Why not?